Okay, so the first step of this 6-step flow is attention. So in order to, generate some leads, you need to first attract people to your landing page or to your so-called funnel. How we do this is through advertising, and we use Facebook as the primary channel, so Facebook and Instagram. Um, and there's basically a very good reason to do that. So first thing is that the product, so the products you guys are selling, so pergolas, garden rooms, awnings, verandas, these are highly visual products, and people usually buy with their eyes, so they have to see you know an example of how it looks like to basically attract their attention and then invite them into the funnel. And to achieve that, we use a very specific way to create the ads. So we try to communicate one clear message, then show them realistic pictures of products. Everybody nowadays can recognize a render. So what we like to do is to use the real projects that you did in the past, because then people can actually imagine how something like this would work for them. And then the last part is we do a lot of testing to figure out what works best. So what combination of message and creative, so image, works best, and then we scale that. So usually we launch like 10 to 20 different combinations of ads, and then figure out what works, and then do variations of that. Here's an example of an ad breakdown. So this is an example that we run for Spalding. And the problem that we had, so that we wanted to describe, is that a lot of people in the UK work remotely from their kitchen table or from their home office, which means they don't have, the focus. There's a lot of loud environment and stuff like that. So the solution is to set up a garden room office that's basically cheaper than what you would pay for the commute costs. And that's the basis of this ad. And the structure of the ad follows a certain pattern. So first we have a hook, which is usually a strong emotional talk about their problem. And it breaks the user's pattern. So it's called a pattern interrupt. So something to intrigue the user, to make them stop the scrolling on the Facebook feed or Instagram feed, and become aware of what we are trying to communicate. The second piece of the ad is a so-called meat or body copy. This usually presents the product and the offer through either a straight bulleted format or through a short story, which the main purpose of this section is to bring the user from being aware the product exists towards a state where they are willing to take some action. And the action we are selling at this point is visit our website. Okay, then we have the call to action at the end. In this case, we invite them to do a free design, so they can visit our landing page, launch the 3D designer, 3D configurator, play with it, see what's possible, and then create the design that they like and submit it to receive a quote. The creative, like I said, it's just images of the past projects, and the headline is telling them what they are getting if they click on the ad. So in this specific example, they will be able to design their own garden room. In terms of how we set up the campaigns, it's very simple. So we use a two-lane setup. The first one is to target net new customers. So basically exclude everybody that had contact with us in the past, and then invite only net new people into our funnel. And the second campaign is to retarget the visitors that we already acquired, but they didn't complete the steps that we wanted them to complete. So somebody who visited didn't submit their configuration to receive a quote. This is a retargeting audience that we use to bring them back to our visual sales funnel.